This is the Wyrd Way. Wyrd is not something that can be explained by words alone. Poetry, imagery, intuition, and mostly an intimate knowing of the forces that move through and are intrinsic to all things are necessary. A quick note. Reading the following paragraphs can and will be a bit frustrating if you don't have at least some basic understanding of metaphysics and the different parts of the self. In this short segment, I will be referring to the Norse shamanic tradition as the basis of my own philosophy when trying to explain the structure and concept of Wyrd. And by the way, I will be referring to Wyrd as Wyrd, not as weird. So, be aware that I don't claim to be a shaman or a practitioner of shamanism. It just happens to be that I have a deeply rooted interest in anthropology, shamanic practices, and the metaphysical ideas regarding the web of Wyrd. With that out of the way, let us begin the spinning of the web. The Norse shaman's life force is central to healing and divination. Life force connects individual human functioning with the pulse of the earth's rhythm and all strands, great and small, that comprise the web of Wyrd. Nothing is separate. Omens, runes, synchronicity, all can be read as pattern pointers from which the weaving of Wyrd can be admired and from which connections between different parts of the patterns can be assumed, understood, or read. Our world began with ice and fire. Alone, neither ice nor fire can accomplish anything, but together they create the world, yet must maintain balance, as one force would obliterate the other if out of balance, just as the worlds of Yggdrasil are constantly replenished by the union of ice and fire. So they depend upon the balance and eternal cycles of night and day, winter, summer, woman, man, weakness, strength, death, life, etc. These forces and countless others from the end point of the gigantic web of fibers which cover all the 9 worlds. These forces and countless others form the end point of the gigantic web of fibers which covers all the 9 worlds. The web is the creation of multiverse forces and its threads shimmering with power and passing through everything. The Nornir, the 3 Norns, are the forces and powers that steward the whole process or steward the web. Wyrd is eternal and instantaneous. It is a constant and eternal change. Wyrd existed before all the gods and goddesses and all things, and will exist after them. Yet, it lasts for an instant because it is the constant creation of the forces and is constantly changing. Because it is created in every instant, it is also unchanging like the still center of a whirlpool. But we can only see the ripples. Weird stuff happening here, by the way. Strange noises. Anyways, but we can only see the ripples dancing on top of the water. The pattern of Wyrd is like the grain in wood, or the flow of stream, never repeated in exactly the same way. The threads of Wyrd pass through all things, and we can open ourselves to its patterns by observing. Close attention, paying close attention. This is the art and function of omens. Nothing happens without Wyrd, as it is present in everything, and because it is created in every instant, it is also the happening itself. The threads of Wyrd are a dimension of ourselves. We cannot grasp with words, because they are locked in our souls. Words can only echo the shadows of truth. Our souls are capable of encountering the realities of Wyrd. And now a bit about runes. Runar. Runes are a powerful path. Runes are a powerful path to the mysteries of Wyrd. Each runic character represents a sound, and beginning with each sound is a word of significance. Rune images are like the shifting cloud shapes of Wyrd. The dimensions and formation of each rune can be learned by anyone. But the way in which a set of runes is interpreted in a particular context requires the knowledge of a sorcerer, a shaman, or a völva, meaning a Norse shamaness or a priestess or a sorceress. They are not to be read like a simple set of sounds or map of words, for the runes have been evolved by the spirit by correlating all the dominant cycles and forces which occur through Midgard. Wyrd is too vast and too complex for us to comprehend, for we are ourselves a part of Wyrd and cannot stand back to observe it as if it were a separate force. So we carve runes. Rista Bjarkrunar, Rista Thursrunar, etc. Or Risti. Anyways, so we carve runes and cast them like nets on the sea of Wyrd. The messages the runes bring back are enough for us to nourish ourselves. As the tides of life carry us, an individual then can adapt to the forces and utilize that power. Each rune is a complete representation of Wyrd, just as one drop of water reflects a perfect image of all that is around. So each rune reflects the totality of Wyrd. The rhythm of Wyrd may be observed at all levels, in stars across the sky, or the cutting of shapes into patch of earth, or the creation of rune staves into wood or stone, meaning 𝗙𝗲𝗧𝗏. And to end this section, I'm going to read a brief quote. Consider the roots of a simple and mundane action. For instance, buying bread for your breakfast. A farmer has grown the grain in a field carved from wilderness by his ancestors. In the ancient city, a miller has ground the flour and a baker prepared the loaf. The vendor has transported it to your house in a cart built by a cartwright and his apprentices. Even the donkey that draws the cart. What stories could she not tell if you could decipher her brain? And then you yourself hand over a coin of copper dug from a very heart of the earth. You have risen from a bed of dreams and darkness to stand in the light of the vast and terrifying sun. Are there not 1,000 strands woven together into tapestry of a morning meal? How then can you expect that the omens of great events should be easy to unravel? And that was a quote by Catherine Kerr. And I just read the section labeled The Wyrd Way from Heresy and Metaphysics by yours truly. Available on Amazon on this beautiful paperback and hardcover as well. It's full of great information, knowledge, wisdom, and it's well worth your time. I hope you, the reader, the viewer, gets something something out of this book, and use it for your own path or journey. Thanks for watching, and yeah, 𝗙𝗿𝗵𝗆, ciao, до свидания, auf Wiedersehen. Until next time, cheers.